Hello viewers. 12 minutes ago, Taehyung and Hyung Sik bond was revealed. Before we dive in, take a second to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because the truth behind these seemingly ordinary moments, they're anything but ordinary. And we promise, you've never seen this side of Taehyung before. What if we told you that just 12 minutes ago, a connection long hidden behind red carpets and blinding stage lights was finally revealed? A bond so genuine, so quietly powerful, that it has left fans stunned, and even longtime industry insiders whispering. This is not just another celebrity friendship. This is the story of Kim Taehyung, the soulful enigma we know as V from BTS, and Hyung Sik, the charming, introspective actor-singer from Z, A, and K-drama royalty. What is it about this friendship that has ignited so much buzz today? What was kept in the shadows until now? Beat drops. Cut to visuals of Taehyung and Hyung Sik laughing together, behind-the-scenes clips, silent glances. Their bond didn't start with a viral video. It didn't explode with a hashtag. It began, quietly, almost invisibly, on the set of a historical drama, Hwarang. A series drenched in ancient legends, swords, and poetic battles, and behind the scenes, something else was unfolding. The rise of a real-life brotherhood. You see, while cameras captured the drama of 6th century Silla warriors, off-camera, something far more compelling was brewing. Taehyung, at the time, was known primarily as 1/7 of BTS, a group just beginning to rumble across the global stage. Hyung Sik, already seasoned in both acting and idol life, had seen what fame could give and what it could quietly take away. Their bond didn't form with the flash of mutual stardom. It formed in the quiet. Late-night rehearsals. Dinners where laughter lingered a little too long. Long conversations about dreams, family, and what it meant to carry the hopes of millions on your shoulders while still trying to figure out who you were. Have you ever looked at someone and felt like they saw you, not the image, not the myth, but the actual you? That's what Taehyung found in Hyung Sik. And Hyung Sik? He found something unexpected too. A younger brother with an old soul. Someone who could listen, really listen, with eyes that carried centuries of stories. It was during these moments, away from lights and scripts, that their connection took root. But the world wasn't watching then. That all changed, subtly at first. Taehyung began referencing his Hyungs from Hwarang more often. Fans noticed the way he lit up around them, how his laughter seemed deeper, freer. And among all the castmates, one stood out. Hyung Sik. Cut to 2020. A year where silence screamed louder than crowds. The world was on pause. And during one live broadcast, as fans flooded Taehyung's comments with questions about BTS, music, future plans, he paused. He smiled. And unprompted, spoke about Hyung Sik. Hyung Sik Hyung, he always checks in. Even now, Taehyung said. His voice wasn't dramatic. It didn't need to be. It was the kind of tone reserved for people who stay in your life when nothing else makes sense. Why does this matter? Because in a world where friendships are curated like photo shoots and authenticity is a currency too few can afford, this bond stood outside the spotlight. Unannounced, unexplained, unshakable. And now, 12 minutes ago, everything changed. Footage emerged from a private event, one the press wasn't even supposed to know about. A quiet gathering of close friends for Hyung Sik's low-key comeback dinner. But among the dimmed lights and soft music, a guest arrived who hadn't been publicly seen with him in months. Taehyung. Not just attending but speaking. Raising a glass. His voice calm, but his words piercing. He spoke of loyalty. Of finding someone who doesn't need to be asked to show up. Of how in this industry, true friends are fewer than fingers on one hand. Silence fell across the table. Someone recorded it. Not for the gossip, but because they knew this was a moment. And when the clip surfaced, fans froze. Because in just 2 minutes, it revealed what years of interviews couldn't. Taehyung vulnerable. Sincere. Speaking not to the millions who adore him, but to one man who never stopped seeing him as Kim Taehyung before he was V. This wasn't just friendship. This was kinship. But it goes even deeper. Let's rewind for a moment. After Hwarang wrapped, many of the cast members went their separate ways. Careers exploded. BTS reached superstardom. Hyung Sik began a wave of critically acclaimed performances. On the surface, it looked like they were on parallel tracks, close but not intersecting. But the truth? They were in constant contact. In private, Hyung Sik had been one of Taehyung's emotional anchors during the chaos of touring, global fame, and burnout. He was there during Taehyung's struggles with identity, the pressure of fame, and the quieter heartbreaks the public never saw. And Taehyung, in turn, was Hyung Sik's reminder of joy. In interviews, Hyung Sik's eyes would soften at Taehyung's name. "He's like sunlight," he once said. "He reminds you to laugh, even when you've forgotten how." But what truly shocked fans was a recent reveal by a staff member from the Hwarang set. In an anonymous post, they shared a moment where Hyung Sik found Taehyung quietly crying backstage, not from pain, but from overwhelm. The pressure of filming, training with BTS, and managing endless expectations had reached a boiling point. And it was Hyung Sik who sat beside him, without saying a word, just staying there for hours. That was the moment their bond was sealed. So, why did it take until today for this bond to be revealed? Because some friendships aren't meant for display. Some are too precious for public consumption. But sometimes, the world needs to see that real loyalty still exists. That behind every icon, there's someone quietly holding them up. And today, thanks to a few recorded words and one quiet gathering, the veil has lifted. But what else was said at that dinner? Because that, my friends, is where the mystery deepens. The video clip, now circling every major fan forum and media platform, didn't end with Taehyung's toast. In fact, what happened after that toast has only intensified the mystery. As Taehyung sat down, visibly emotional but composed, Park Hyung Sik reached across the table, gently clasping his hand. And then, just loud enough for a few to hear, but now immortalized on digital record, he said, "Even when the world only sees your shine, I will always remember your shadow." A sentence. That's all it was. But it carried the weight of years, of unspoken support, of moments we'll never witness. Think about that. In an industry where curated personas often stand in for real connection, that one sentence cut through the noise like a blade through silk. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't for the cameras. It was just real. Now, people are asking, what have we missed all this time? Why has this bond been kept so quiet, so intimate? To understand that, we have to go deeper, not just into their friendship but into the very cost of fame. Kim Taehyung, for all his charisma, carries a solitude that even the biggest fans have sensed. There are entire forums dedicated to decoding his expressions, his silences, his sudden mood shifts. And don't forget, if this moved you, subscribe to the channel. Because these aren't just stories. These are truths hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. We'll see you.